Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Erin.
I'm Josh. Thank you for joining us today. We've got one sample in front of us that has been put into 2 glasses. We're completely blind, and we're doing this uncut today so that we're just going to expedite things this week, and yeah, it's going to be good.
So what are we doing? We're drinking this blind.
I said that.
I know.
It's been drawn from our blind sample pool, full of a bunch of random samples that swap out all the time, so we have no clue what this is. If you're new here, Erin is a social sipper. I'm a whiskey nerd. Neither of us professional tasters, but we are going to let you know what we think about this completely blind before we find out what we're drinking. We'll also find out the price before we find out what we're drinking and see if that changes how we feel about the pour in the glass. So let's get into it on the nose. Wow. Very, very sweet.
Yeah, it smells like bourbon, which to me is sweetness.
Yeah. It smells like a very particular type of bourbon, and I don't want to say anything yet.
Alcohol sweet.
Alcohol sweetness. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm getting a ton of cherry on this. And almost like a little bit of like a pastry type of vibe to it.
Oh. Want to taste it?
Yeah, let's get into it. Huh.
It doesn't taste as sweet on the palate.
A little more watery.
A little more thin, like
than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. That's really interesting.
There is an artificial sweetness I'm getting on like the back, like on the end.
Yeah, that cherry note that I was getting on the nose kind of transferred to just like an artificial cherry flavored candy.
Yeah,
on the palate.
I'm getting that too. Let's do one more sip.
That's it.
Yeah, this is fine. I feel like we've had enough different types of whiskeys over the last few years that this would fall in like the it's fine category.
Yeah.
I've had better.
I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit for what it is. I mean, it's not the type of thing I'm usually going to put in a glass like this and sit down with and dissect.
Okay.
But I'm getting, on that second sip, I'm getting a good finish. It's kind of hugging a little bit on the throat.
Yeah, the finish builds, which is nice.
I'm getting some nice sweet oak on the end of it. The spice level's pretty low. It's kind of just generally sweet and oaky. Mm-hmm. And I kind of like that. Yeah. I am going to need another sip to get some ratings, but if you're ready of that, go ahead.
For me, I'm just going to go just okay right now. Let's see what the price is. I feel like this is fine. It's not bad. I don't have to have a pour of it. For me, if we're at a bar or out and someone asked if I wanted a pour of this, probably. So I'd say just okay. Like that's kind of where I lean on just okay. I don't really need to own a bottle, but I'm not opposed to drinking it like elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm going to go thumbs up. I like this. I like the flavor profile of it, that kind of cherry oakiness, kind of that cherry pastry, cherry candy vibe.
I think for me that's just too much.
Yeah, and I can see that. You don't typically like things as sweet as I do.
Yeah.
I think for me that this is the type of thing I would put in a rocks glass, not over ice, just because I don't really care for cold whiskey. But, I think in a rocks glass, just easy sipping, that would fit the bill here. And I like the flavor profile enough that I am thumbs up on it. Full disclosure, we warmed our palates up before this, and we used Four Roses small batch. And this to me seems to be kind of a step above that. Okay. So I would kind of put this in that like $30 to $50 range, seemingly kind of low proof, not too old, it doesn't seem like, but just generally enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I like it. So we're going to find out the price and see if that changes how we feel in these ratings.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was $50. If it was more than $50, I'd probably be out.
64 in our sample pool. It is
$75.
I can see that.
It's a little more than I wanted to spend for something I feel like that didn't like wow me. But I'm not offended by that. I'm still staying just okay, though, because I'm not going to spend $75 on that.
Right.
But I don't think it's egregious. Look at me using college words.
I like egregious.
I know.
That was a word I used to use in high school to make teachers think I was smart.
Did it work?
I got through, so I guess it worked on some level.
You were actually smart, so that's probably why.
To some degree. I will say that for $75, I'm really on the fence with that thumbs up.
Yeah.
Typically, I don't want to spend that much money just to put something in a rocks glass and drink it as a background pour.
Yeah, that's a lot for a background pour.
For $75, I want to be able to put something in a Glen and have it have some layers and some twists and some turns and some depth and some flavor. And this is really good, but it's just really good in that kind of background whiskey way.
Yeah.
And $50 is kind of my limit for that. So I'm going to go down to a just okay on this as well. don't hear what I'm not saying. I like it, but I just don't like it for
You're
that
not going
much
to put
money.
your money where your mouth is in that instance. Like,
Yeah, and look, would I buy a bottle at $75? Maybe. I might. That's what just okay means. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I would definitely grab a pour of it if we were out at a restaurant and it was whatever this is, it was on the menu. I would love to have a glass of this with dinner out or whatever. I just don't. We have a lot of bottles already. We have like 350, 400 plus bottles. I don't need another bottle of this specifically.
Yeah.
But it's good. So let's find out what we're drinking.
All right. We are drinking I.W. Harper 15 year.
Wow.
And this is 86 proof, which
Okay.
that's impressive because I would have guessed it was closer to like mid 90s, like 95 proof. And this is thanks to Joe and Jess Carter for the sample.
Hey, Joe and Jess.
Yeah.
So when we were drinking this, I was thinking it kind of reminded me of a Buffalo Trace profile.
Okay.
And I don't know who makes I.W. Harper. I think it might be Heaven Hill, sourced Heaven Hill, or from Heaven Hill. It's down here. If I can find the information, it's already in the banner that you're seeing. But to me, I know that Joe likes to take this because of the 15-year age statement and then mix it with Weller's Special Reserve, and he calls it like a poor man's Pappy 20 or something like that.
So, okay.
Go ahead.
I have questions about that, but they're not for you. They're for Joe.
Okay. But Joe likes Pappy, by the way.
I know, but that just seems like a lot of money to spend just to get a 15-year age statement. But these are not questions for this venue. This is something I should ask him.
To be fair, I can't think of any other whiskey, any other bourbon that you can buy that has a 15-year age statement for $75.
Right. But if you're just buying it for the 15-year age statement, like what's on paper and not what's in the glass, that doesn't seem logical to me. But that's my opinion, and that's why it's a conversation for me and Joe. I want to hear his reasoning.
Well, that oak prevalence on the second sip that I got, and every sip after that, and the cherry sweetness, this to me is, you know, I think it's a pour that's worth the money. It's just not 100% to my profile for something I want to sit down and sip on for $75.
Yeah.
However, it is a gorgeous bottle. The 15-year age statement, the price point. It is a bottle that I might consider getting if I had the extra money in the budget and it was sitting on the shelf.
But it's because of the 15-year age statement.
Right. Simply because if we have guests over or like family over that doesn't love higher proof bourbon like I do, and they don't want their face blown off by 120 plus proof, but they want a well-aged, generally sweet, kind of easygoing bourbon, this really does fit that bill. And the bottle is gorgeous. Like this is, you know what this is a great bottle for?
What?
Gifting.
Yeah.
This would be a great bottle to buy a family member who is into whiskey, but they don't want to, like, they may not want to spend $75 on themselves, but, you know, like I'm thinking like my dad, this would be a great bottle to get him.
That's true.
Like, I mean, he will spend that money on whiskey, but
Right.
like generally speaking, this is a great bottle to get somebody like that.
That's true.
Because it's so pretty. You'd have to see a picture of it. It looks like a decanter.
This is why we do things blind, because now that you know what this is, you're gushing about it.
I'm not gushing about it.
Kinda.
I'm not gushing at all.
You're
I've-
approaching gushing territory.
No, I'm just saying there is a place in the market for this. Look at that bottle.
Oh, of course you love that. It's totally mid-century mod.
It's so...
It's cool. It's a cool bottle. But again, are you paying for the bottle and the age statement? Or are you paying for what you taste?
I'm still just okay. Like, you can't change it after we find out what it is.
Okay.
I still haven't bought a bottle to this day. Probably won't buy a bottle for myself unless I buy a bottle specifically to have in the house to share with company who likes lower proof
here's
stuff.
the deal. If you're not wrong if you like it, I just want you to, like, be consistent.
I am consistent.
I want everyone to be consistent. Like what you like and own it. And if you like it and you're willing to spend $75 on it, be that way consistently.
I am being consistent.
Okay. Then if you are, that's great.
From the get-go, I said I liked it.
Yeah, you
I just
did.
didn't want to spend over $50 for it. That's why I went just okay, which means I could kind of take it or leave it.
Okay.
But there are situations in which I would take it. Namely, the entire last few minutes I just talked about having...
The gifting point is a good point.
See, she's trying to get me. She's trying to pull a gotcha on me.
No, I'm not trying to pull a gotcha. I'm just trying to make sure we remain true to who we are.
We are.
I don't want this video to inspire FOMO for someone else. That's all.
I don't think it would. I don't think either of us were blown away by this.
No, we weren't. It was fine.
You didn't care for it. You were like, yeah, I liked it, but yeah. Spend your money wisely. That's what these blind tastings are all about. I'm going to stop defending myself from my wife over here.
No, You don't have to defend yourself. You like what you like, and I just want you to be able to own it, but be consistent with it.
There's a place in the market for this, and I wanted to speak to that.
Okay.
So
that's fair. I get that.
Right.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed these honest opinions. I mean, we can't be anything but honest because we have no clue what we're drinking.
Yeah.
So all we can do is be honest to that and true to our own personal preferences. And that's what you saw play out here today. So if you like that sort of content, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that bell down there if you want to join us for a live stream. You can check out our Patreon community down there, linked in the video description. Wonderful community full of good people. It's also how you get access to our barrel picks, bonus content, bonus live streams, and people are trading samples over on Discord. You can get to our Discord through Patreon, and it's just a wonderful time over there.
Absolutely.
And you can also check out shirts just like this one.
Or this one, because look, I'm wearing merch today.
Yeah.
I hardly ever wear merch,
Here we go.
but I am today.
And Erin has started writing blog posts for our website, so you can check that out down there as well. They're
a little more beginner friendly. So if you're new into the world of whiskey, they're kind of history focused on whiskey or like what is sort of things.
And some fun facts that you might not know. Certainly I didn't know.
Yeah.
Erin's digging up some stuff.
Yeah.
So check that out down there. Also, a link to her content company, her writing company is down in the video description as well if you like her writing. And what else?
You have a company that needs writing? Hit me up.
Yeah. I think that's it for today.
I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patreon, shirts. Yeah.
Said it all.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Be good to each other. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers. Trying to come after me.
I wasn't trying to come after
Yeah,
you.
you were trying to come after me.
No, I was not. I just want to make sure.
You said I was gushing
You
about
were
it.
borderline gushing.
I was not.
borderline. It was you were borderline, and I just wanted to nip it in the bud before it became before it grew.
You've seen me taste King of Kentucky. You've seen me taste Booker's Rye. You've seen me taste George T. Stagg.
Okay.
You've seen me taste pours where I was gushing.
So gushing.
This did not approach
Okay.
anything near that.
Maybe-
You were being very hyperbolic.
Maybe gushing was a little too strong, but
it was.
you were.
Because you were trying to get me.
I wasn't trying to get you. I was just listening to you. You kind of started to change your tune a little bit about you. It felt like you were making excuses for the whiskey because when you found out what it was. And I just wanted to make sure that was not the case. But you brought up some good points. They're valid. I hear you. I see you. And you are entitled to your opinion. I just want to make sure you don't, pull a switcheroo on accident.
You know what I should have said?
What?
I should have said that for $75, Blanton's is $80 in our market. If you get it at retail right now, I would buy this over Blanton's every day of the week. And it's in a pretty bottle as well. I always said Blanton's was a $30 bourbon in a $30 bottle when it was $60. Now it's $80 and I just don't buy it.
Yeah.
This is a $50 bourbon in a $25 bottle, and that bottle looks good. That's what I should have said.
Well, then leave this in here, and then you just said it. Okay.
Turd.
I'm not a turd. I just want to keep you honest. What? If I'm not a good wife, if I can't keep you honest, right?